This is Sam Ovens, founder of schoolandconsulting.com, and has a net worth of about $65 million. He stresses the importance of having a productivity schedule so dramatic that it extracts all the productivity out of your day. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how Sam Ovens designs his life to be so productive that it seems like nothing, that it's inevitable. By the end of this video, you're going to have a routine you can actually stick to, a system of planning your days without being overwhelmed, environment hacks that eliminate distractions, and a set of simple rules that make every decision automatic. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So firstly, Sam Ovens says something that most people don't like to hear. Your environment is probably your biggest influence on your success. Bigger than motivation, bigger than discipline. Because when you're tired, unmotivated, and just done, your brain doesn't pick what's best, it picks what's easy. So when the easiest option is bad, like scrolling, video games, eating junk food, your brain will do that. It goes into a sort of survival monkey brain mode. So no matter how strong your mind is, you will always drift back into this. Sam Ovens uses the strategy like life is like a game of snakes and ladders. Snakes and Ladders is this board game where you try to make it up to this final destination, and there are certain things that help you get there. There are ladders, which if you land on, you can skip a few tiles and go up a rung in the grand scheme of ending the game. But if you land on a snake tile, you slide down, and there are big snakes and there are small snakes. If you land on a small snake, it doesn't affect you as much. But if you land on a big snake, it can take you all the way back down to the beginning of the game. Most people are trying to win the game of willpower when the board is full of snakes. So Sam Ovens' solution is very simple. Just remove the snakes and put ladders in the right spots. This is what environment design is. So ask yourself, what are the snakes in my life? Instagram, the YouTube homepage, notifications on your phone, or even a messy room? One of the major ones for me was scrolling. I remember taking a screenshot of my phone and sending it to my friend when I had just gotten over a breakup, and I had 14 hours of screen time in one day just on my phone. And other days aren't better. Sometimes I'll have an average of 9 hours of screen time per week. When I'm really productive, it'll only be an hour, which is really good, but I'm trying to get better every single day. And also, I've fallen into the trap that every other man has, which is lust. And I know it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people to talk about, but it is a real problem. I was so focused on external validation and sort of getting a high that I actually got addicted to it. And it's terrible. It's something that I'm working on every single day. Recently, it's gotten better, but I know a lot of men are struggling with it. So one way that I've found that really helps is just keeping track of certain bad and good habits. Website blockers really help if you let them, for either YouTube, other adult websites, anything like that. They really do help. And if you really want to quit, you will. So the first part about productivity is not about being superhuman. It's about being smart enough to stop fighting your own setup. So change your environment, and much of your lifestyle will follow. The next is a routine. Sam Ovens says, without my routine, I would be useless. He describes his routine almost like it's programmed into his mind daily. At 6:50, he wakes up, 7 o'clock goes to the gym, 8 o'clock shower and breakfast, 8:30 meditation, 9 o'clock work, 12:30 lunch, 1 o'clock work, 7 p.m. dinner, 7:30 p.m. work, 9 o'clock plan tomorrow, 9:30 shut laptop, shower, wind down, and finally 11 p.m. sleep. And he says the most important part is what a lot of people don't realize about having a productive routine. Once you do it for long enough, it becomes default, and that's one less thing you don't have to think about. So just do it. That's the whole secret. There's no productivity hack that is the end all be all. I'm so tired of hearing so many people online saying that there's the one thing that magically makes you 10 times more productive. It's not. It's not beautiful. It's not some grand thing that you see on TikTok, and it's something that's just boring, but you have to do every single day. And that's just getting up, having a simple routine, and getting the work done. And I know there's gonna be people out there who are like Notion dashboard freaks and have so many different productivity hacks that they do every day. But at the end of the day, you still have to get up and do the work. So I would recommend for the average person trying to become great in life, like myself, to just get up, and do the work. Because most people have too many decisions that they have to make in a day. They have to ask themselves, when do I wake up? When do I work out? When do I start work? When do I have my meals? When do I have my second work block? When do I eat dinner? When do I shower? When do I go to bed even? That's way too many decisions in a day for if you need to become great in life. I call that death by 1,000 cuts. Every small decision adds up throughout the day. And I've fallen victim to that as well. For 2 years of trying to become productive, I had no mentor and I had no idea what to do. But once I started figuring out that you literally just needed to get up and get the work done, then my life became 10 times easier. I didn't need any productivity hack. I just set a timer for myself and I got the work done. And then I left it. There was no staying for an extra hour doing quote unquote research on YouTube. No, that was just an absolute waste of time. I got up, set a timer, did the work, got lunch, did the work again, and then left it for the rest of the day. I hung out with friends and I didn't even think about work. And that's what got me thousands of dollars with SMMA. And that's what I'm trying to teach all of you, and about how to build your own personal brand as well. That's the secret. That's the productivity hack right there. You don't have to watch the rest of the video, but you should, because there are more things that Sam Ovens says to become even more productive. But if you want to click away from this video right now, that's the one thing. Set a timer and get the work done. However, Sam Ovens is obsessed with sleep for one reason and one reason only. If you screw up your wake and sleep cycles, you screw up your brain chemistry altogether. And if you screw up your brain chemistry, you're fighting against yourself instead of fighting against your own will to work every day. It's just one added thing that you have to do. And if you have poor sleep, your impulse control is worse, your will to work is worse, like I said before, your emotional intelligence is worse, your hormones are all off, and your cravings are off as well. So just have consistent wake up and go to bed times. It goes into the point before where it's just consistently every single day you have the same schedule. And you don't have to take Sam Ovens' schedule, you can make your own and you can build it out for yourself. Then Sam Ovens talks about vision, sort of your vision for your life. He advises that you make a couple of goal sheets. So you make an annual sheet, you make a quarterly sheet, you make a monthly sheet, and you make initiatives, actions, and tasks that you need to do. And he reviews the plan tomorrow, today technique, where you sit down at the end of the day and you just plan what you're gonna do tomorrow. It makes the decisions that you do the next day so much easier because it's literally written down for you. And it's just, again, one less thing that you have to do. So you don't even need any of these huge goals if it seems too much for you. What you can do right now is this. Write down one focus for the next 3 months. So for me, it's getting my YouTube channel and following on social media to 10,000 followers. That's my only goal, but also while providing as much value as possible. And number 2 is, what would make one thing be the thing that you would win at tomorrow? Basically, what was the one thing that would make tomorrow a success? And finally, number 3, what is the first task you will do when you sit down tomorrow? I've heard a lot of people call it eating the frog, which is basically like if you're sitting at a dinner table and you're offered a beautiful plate of food, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You want to eat that plate of food, but you get served a frog, a live frog that you have to eat. I actually don't remember if it's live or dead. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But you get served a live frog and you have the choice. You have to eat the frog. You get the choice of eating the frog after you have this amazing meal or before you have the amazing meal. So you have to do it anyway. So think about this frog as the task you have to do. You still have to do it, but you can either do it first thing in the morning when it's sort of fresh and you can eat the frog before you have this amazing meal so that you get it out of the way. Basically, it's the harder thing to do, but it's the thing that will make you feel the best, because after you eat this frog, you get to eat this amazing plate of food in front of you. So eat the frog first thing in the morning, do that bit of work that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off for a while. I guarantee you it's not going to take you as much time as you think it is, maybe 1 to 2 hours max, because that creates direction and momentum for the rest of the day. And I promise you, you will feel 10 times better. Quick favor, if you are liking this video and you want me to break down more systems from people who are successful and who have built amazing lives for themselves, please consider subscribing and comment down below if you want to see more videos like that. Let's move on. Sam Ovens talks about something that's extremely underrated, which is heuristics. It refers to something that is basically just small rules in your life that become default over time because they're just so small. Instead of debating every single situation, you just have a default answer every single time. Here are some examples of just some heuristics. Don't break your schedule for small issues. Don't work past a certain threshold. Don't look at hate comments. Don't be reactive, and don't keep distraction apps on your phone. Here's how you can apply simple heuristics to your everyday life. Number one is don't use your phone in the first 60 minutes of your day. I have fallen victim to this many, many times, but I sometimes use my phone when I first wake up. This is a terrible habit and screws up your dopamine for the rest of the day. So don't use your phone in the first 60 minutes of the day, and also use some ad blockers on your computer if you're searching on YouTube or anything like that, because you can easily go down a rabbit hole and go down a 2-hour rabbit hole that you didn't even mean to go on before. Then Sam Ovens calls out one thing which I think a lot of people do, and I think a lot of people fall victim to, which is multitasking. He sort of tiptoes around this subject like it's he who shall not be named or something like that, because he truly thinks it is the worst thing you could ever do. He basically says that when people are so used to doing multitask things like driving while texting, doing work while listening to a movie or a podcast, that when things come down to it and when you actually have to do the really hard thing just by itself, it becomes excruciatingly hard because your brain is so addicted to switching from one thing to another, which is why he says meditation is so helpful for him. He basically defines meditation like the practice of doing nothing. No apps, no music, just 20 minutes of doing nothing per day. And basically the skill is the art of a thought appears in your mind while you're meditating. You notice it, you sort of brush it away from your mind, and you let your mind get clear again, and then it repeats. You will never have a fully sound mind. It will never be super relaxed, but you can train your mind to become more and more tough when it comes to those things. So what you can get from this is basically doing 1 20-minute meditation a day, getting one task work blocks of just doing one thing in that certain work block, and then not thinking about it, and then eating food with full focus. So don't eat while you're working, just eat and do nothing else, and then go back to work. And then the second to last thing that Sam says is eliminate distractions ruthlessly. A lot of people try to add more things into their schedule to be more productive, like adding sun exposure, which, I mean, all of these are really, really good. Sun exposure, cold plunge, all these different productivity hacks that you see everywhere. But if you just want to get work done, it is 10 times easier to just eliminate the distractions and eliminate all of those super locked in health benefits. Just eliminate distractions and get the work done. And I did a video about this a while ago, but this is how you remove all the quote unquote snakes in your life. You delete all the problem apps, you install website blockers, and you turn off all notifications for your phone. And finally, the craziest thing that Sam Ovens does that a lot of people don't like is that he thinks of time as money. And Sam Ovens does a lot of things that most people aren't willing to do, and that is, for most people, unrealistic. He uses money to buy time. Every single thing that costs him time, because his time is worth so much money, everything that costs him time literally costs him money. There was a story he was telling where he was traveling to and from the gym every day. He said it took 10 minutes every day to drive there and 10 minutes to drive back. So that was 20 minutes a day. He said over the course of a week, that was causing me way too much time. So I called up his, one of his friends or something, and basically said, oh, it was his contractor. He called up his contractor and was like, how much is it going to cost me to build a home gym in my house? And he said, $10,000. And he said, good, build it right now. Because his time is worth more than $10,000 for him to build a home gym. Isn't that crazy? I don't think a lot of people will think like this, and I don't think, quite frankly, a lot of people have the capacity to think like this, but it's just something to get into your mind, to start thinking your time as being very valuable. So I've said all this. Sam Ovens is completely insane when it comes to optimizing his productivity, but in a good way. But at the end of the day, what can you take from this? All of this sounds kind of unrealistic. So here are some actual things you can do every single day that will optimize your life for being more productive. Remember that environment beats willpower. Routine makes you automatic. Sleep consistency protects your brain chemistry. Plan tomorrow today using the late hours of the day to plan the next day. Use heuristics to make life easier. Eliminate distractions ruthlessly, and think of time as money. So do these right now. Pick the time you're gonna wake up tomorrow morning. Plan tomorrow today, right now. Right after you watch this video, write down what you're gonna do tomorrow. And finally, remove one snake. Remove one distraction from your life right now. This alone will get you ahead of 95% of people. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.